All right, everybody. Welcome back to another Saturday shout out. Jenner's with us this week. For how long, nobody knows, but right, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, got a lot to cover this week. A lot of stuff that I want to get to, so I'm going to get right into it. I'm going to try and power through it. We're doing really well, and hope you are too. First, I want to welcome all the new members. Been yeah, I know. She's trying to steal the show, Ginger. So yeah, I want to say welcome to all the new members. We've had a lot of new, the channel's been growing, a lot of new members lately, and I want to say thank you to everybody. A lot of great comments, a lot of really meaningful comments, and I want to welcome everybody that's new to the channel. Happy to have you here, happy to have you as a part of the community, and hopefully we can just keep growing this thing. To all the returning members, always great to see you guys. And let's get right to it. So I want to say, first of all, I want to say something to Lee Billingham. She is just very talkative today.
Super vocal today.
She's taking over the show. All right. So I want to thank Lee. He did a shout out for me on his channel that I just got to. He did it a couple months ago. And there she goes. And you know I miss a lot of your stuff. You guys out there, I try and watch as much of your stuff as possible. I try and visit all the channels and look through your content. I'm genuinely interested. I really do care. And I try and watch most of it. I think I get to a ton of it, but I do miss some stuff. And if I do miss it, it's just, you know, one of those things. There's just so many hours in the day. So if you have something you'd like me to see, or you're doing a shout out, or there's something that you just want me to take a look at, shoot me a note and let me know that you put it up, and I will go take a look at it. Lee did a really good shout out with me in it, which is always kind of weird for me. I know a few people have done these for me, and I think I'm a little more comfortable on this side of it, but I'm very appreciative and grateful when you guys do that for me. It means a lot to me, and I don't take it for granted. And Lee's was especially good. A lot of prep he put into it. His voiceover work is really good. He did some research on my past and did a really good bio piece on me, as well as the other artists. And it was really impressive. I didn't expect it to be that intricate. So thank you, Lee. I appreciate that. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of all of you that are continuing this tradition on, doing your own shout outs or your own version of them, and just supporting other artists. Really appreciate that. It's good for the community. It's good for the other artists, and just is good karma for everybody. So everybody check out Lee's channel, and he's got some really great artwork up. I just watched, he did Joker from the Suicide Squad, and it was spot on, so really good stuff. She loves that movie.
It's one of my favorites. I love it.
I wasn't such a fan, but we'll move on. Next, I want to bring up my buddy Joe over at Fistful of Popcorn. Everybody should know the story about Joe by now. He does a really cool movie review channel. One of the very first people that supported me on YouTube. And I want to get him up to 250 subs by the end of the year. So let's use the power of the community and see if we can make that happen for him. He does really good reviews, really insightful. He's not pretentious. A lot of the reviews I see are long-winded, and it seems like the reviewer is trying to impress you with their vocabulary and make connections where there aren't any. And at least that's my take. Not everybody, of course, but he's unpretentious, he's honest, you know, genuine, just down-to-earth guy. He gets in, and he's actually really insightful. He hits a lot of the main points of the movies that he watches, because he's now moving into a full horror format, which is cool with me. So if you dig horror movies, you dig honesty and genuine people, go check out Joe's channel. Link to his channel and link to Lee's channel will be right in the description box. Go check him out. Let's see if we can get him up to 250 subs. I think you'll enjoy it. If you enjoy horror movies, go check it out. And so next from that, there's a lot of stuff that's been going on. I just want to briefly kind of cover it all. So Kat emailed me. If you don't know, Kat is one of the most talented artists that we have in the community. Her her work is ridiculous, especially lately. The realism stuff she's been putting out is just mind-blowing. Elephant piece that we had up last, I believe it was shout out before last.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks
It
ago.
was really good.
Sorry.
So detailed. I love that piece.
Yeah, a lot of people thought it was a photograph.
Right.
Anyway, she's one of the highest level artists we have, and she's also one of the most involved community members. She actually, the Reddit forum was her idea, and she moderates it and runs it primarily. But she had a cool idea. Her and David Denton and I have been kind of floating around this idea now about doing a website for the artist community. I know the Reddit forum, you guys, a lot of you enjoy it. A lot of you are confused a little bit by the format. To be completely honest with you, I've been on there a few times. I try and get on as much as possible, and the format still confuses me a little bit. So what we're trying to do is put together like a cohesive, kind of like one-stop shop place. Not that there's going to be anything to buy, but you know what I'm saying. A place for all the community members to go, and we'll have the collabs there, and we'll have the challenges there, and we'll have like a section for introductions and a forum. It's just in the idea phase now, but I will be doing a video. Kat is on top of all this. She's going to put a lot of the work in, and I'm going to help her, and I think David's going to be a part of it. And she has a lot of specific questions that she wants me to ask you guys as far as what you want in a website, the specifics. So I'll release a video here in the next 2 or 3 days. Might be 4 days. Might even be 5, but I'll try for 3 or 4.
It'll get there.
Yeah. With all the specific questions regarding that and what you guys want in a page. So that's coming up, and big credit to Kat. So I hope that you guys will be checking out that video, and I think that is going to be like the next step in taking the community to the next level. It's really starting to grow, and I think a cohesive place where we can do everything together and just have one place where we all go and congregate is the way to do it. So we're working on that. Okay, what else? Format for the shout outs. I'm starting to kind of figure this out, like how I want to do it, what works for me time wise and format wise. So I think I'm going to do, like, this video is going to be pretty close to the format I'm going to stick to from now on. We're going to do 4 new shout outs where I'll go over and talk about them all in the video. And then last week we had the text with the photos up at the end of the video for the follow-up shout outs. And I think I'm going to stick with that. That works for me. It makes more sense time-wise. It's easier for me to do. Doesn't take as much time, and I can still get all of you in there, show your work, and show a little bit about you. And then once every few weeks, I'll do an epic shout-out like we did a few weeks ago, where I just do like a 45-minute, hour-long video and just get a ton of people in every few weeks when I have the time. So I think I'm going to do that, and then also I'd like to mix in there every once in a while just a video for follow-ups. So that's the format it's going to be. One little note on that, Lee contacted me and let me know that YouTube has some rules regarding what links you can and cannot post outside of YouTube. I guess they want all of the traffic on YouTube and they don't want you going to any other site. So I'm going to hold my thoughts on that. But Lee told me, and I believe Lee, I haven't had the time to look into it myself, but he told me he knew somebody that had spent years building their channel up, and they had some links, you know, to websites outside of YouTube, and they just pulled the channel with no warning or anything. So in those links, when I'm talking about where I do the text and the picture, I'm just going to put your YouTube channel up there, and then people can find your other extraneous channels from there, because I'm not trying to break any rules. We've worked too hard. I've worked too hard. We've all worked too hard to build this up. I'm not trying to get this all taken down because I'm violating a rule or something. So thank you, Lee, for pointing that out. I haven't had a chance to look into it in depth, but I definitely am taking his word for it. Err on the side of caution. So I'll put in the follow-ups, I'll put up a link directly to your YouTube channel, not all, the Instagram and all the other stuff. So people at YouTube, when you go to review my channel, I'm following the rules. So, okay, there's that. And then I wanted to also let you guys know I really appreciate your support on Patreon, the ones that have contributed. It means the world to me. It's a way you can directly support me, and it makes me feel more than, even if it's just $1 a month, more than the money, it makes me feel appreciated, and that really fuels me. So I thank you very much. You guys know who you are, and I've messaged you. And if you do want to support me, go to the Patreon. That's a way that you can really directly help me out. And I've also, like I said in the past, I don't want to put any content behind a paywall. I don't want to hide anything content-wise that if you pay that you wouldn't get if you didn't pay. So I want everybody to have the same content. But what I have done is created a tier system where if you contribute, there's a $5, $10, and $15. At the $5, you get a 5x7 print. All prints signed by me, personalized. They all come in a clear sealer with a backing board ready to frame. They're all super high quality. They're the same prints I sell at all the shows. And so at the $5 level, you get a 5x7 print. You get a sticker, print and sticker of your choice. And I'll sign it, personalize it for you, send it to you. At $10 a month, we'll do an 8.5x11 print with a sticker and a coaster. And then at the $15 a month, you get a 13x19 print, signed, personalized, with the sticker and the coaster as well. So, and also a 5x7 print. So there's something tangible in it also for you. So I can reward you for helping me without keeping content away from those that don't contribute, because I don't want it to be like that. So okay, that's all of that out of the way. So getting on to the shout outs. Who's the first shout out of this week?
First is Jessica Matheney.
Okay, so one thing that I've been enjoying and doing lately is to kind of prep for your shout outs. If you have a vlog or an intro on your channel, which a lot of you do, I watch those, and it's really fun, interesting for me. It's a cool way for me to get to know you and learn about you. And I would recommend that if you guys don't have one, think about putting one up on your own page, because it's a way to personalize yourself to your audience. And it's a nice way to enhance your channel. So Jessica has a cool intro vlog. Some things I've learned about that is she has a gluten celiac allergy that's really intense. I think I'm getting that right.
You are.
So that sucks for her. But more than that, she's a fantastic artist. If you see the eagle piece in the thumbnail that's prominently featured this week, the realism in it and the level of detail, very impressive. She is mostly self-taught. This is something I haven't really addressed, but I've thought about making a video on this a few times about, I think it's a myth that most people think that you have to go to art school to be a working artist or a working level artist. It's not true. If you have the opportunity and can go to art school and that fits your personality and you can afford it, do it. It'll help you for sure, but it's not the only way. It's all about the time that you put in. If you spend 10,000 hours working at your craft, whether it be inside of an institution or in your own house or wherever it is, you'll get there if you have that drive. Jessica's self-taught. That's why I bring that up. So, and look at the level of her art. That's a perfect example of how good you can get if you just put your time in. She does some different diverse subject matter, but her passion is nature and animal work, and you can see that in the eagle piece and a couple other pieces that we have up. She wants to do some instructional videos. She said she's got one in the works coming up shortly that's primarily dealing with fur and how to do fur texture. And if you look at the fur in her work, you'll see that that is something she's very good at. So again, another one of those examples to learn from one of these artists that's disseminating information to you. So keep an eye out on her channel for that. Her focus is on realism. Her pieces are very high level realism, and it's just, she's very talented. Seems like a really nice person, and we're happy to have you as part of the community and happy to have you here on the shout out. So guys, go check out Jessica. a very talented artist, and go check out her work. So moving on, who's next here?
Next is Nomis, Breakwood, or Simon.
So Simon, he has a vlog too. Same kind of deal. He's got an intro vlog up on his channel, and I watched that. And he's a really interesting character. Again, it's cool for me to get to know you guys in that kind of way, you guys and women. And so, you know, a little bit of personal stuff I learned about him. You know, his art, he's put a lot of time into his art. He enjoys video games. He wants to do fitness videos on his channel. He enjoys working out. Something we have in common. I used to work full-time as a certified personal trainer. I like working out. So there's going to be some other stuff on his channel, not just art, but he does have art stuff up. He's going to do some technique videos up. He's got some pastel work and some other media work on his channel, but really what stood out to me in his work is his ink work. He does pen ink pieces, and that's something I do as well. I did an enormous piece called Monolith that's
So cool.
I believe we measured it. It's like 9 feet long and 3 feet high or something like that. It took me like 600 hours. It's up on my Instagram. I did a quick video of it. Anyway, I'm going to do a whole video on it. But anyways, I did that all in ink pen. I went to Office Max so many times and bought pens, like boxes of them. I thought they'd think I was out of my mind at one point. But anyway, so I like pen work. What I like about pen work is that it's not like really refined media, and that you can really overthink your brush strokes, or if you're doing fine pencil work. I got distracted. There's a butterfly outside of our window.
Just trying to get in.
With pen and ink work, like just ballpoint pen, it's you know, from your mind down onto the canvas, and then what it is, there's no erasing, there's no refining, so it's like a direct outlet for your brain right to the canvas, and that's what I see in his work with his ink work, Simon's work. It's really unique, and it's really intense, and you can tell he puts a lot of himself into his work, and there's a lot of emotion in it, a lot of power in it. To me, that's my take. He's got a cool Jack Skellington piece from The Nightmare Before Christmas, which, you know,
Personal favorite.
Callie and I, our engagement rings are Nightmare Before Christmas. So yeah, that's a cool piece. Again, he's got that pastel piece on there, some really cool stuff. Go check out Simon. And he's got really original work. That's what I want you to keep in mind when you go look at his channel. It's really original personal work. So go check out Simon, guys. And then who's next?
Next is Inspired Art Dolls, Rachel.
Okay, so it's always fun for me to get to put something on the channel that I haven't put up before, especially now we're starting to kind of get into this. This is the 12th shout out, so when I find something that's new to me or that I haven't put up, it's interesting and fun. So she has, she's a good artist with, you know, standard mediums. She has some really cool pieces. She does a Star Wars Kylo Ren piece, a couple other really nice pieces with traditional medium. But what really stood out to me is she takes these dolls. I believe they're called wooden nesting dolls. Does that sound right?
Oh yeah, like little Russian nesting dolls.
Yeah, exactly. And she paints them, but they're really, it's like, you know, fine art, you know, not craft level, but like high art. And she does these different sets. She's got a Harry Potter set. She's got an Incredibles set. She's got a Star Wars set. She's got an Avengers set. And she paints them all up, and they're really nicely done. And I haven't seen anybody do that before. I'm not saying nobody has, but I haven't seen it. So it's really interesting. It's a cool approach, and it's nice and original and creative, and it's a cool way to approach art. So it was fun for me to get her up, because I saw something that I hadn't seen before. I believe she's got an Etsy shop, and those, I think she sells them, and those would appeal to collectors. I would think that'd be something I'd be into. So if that sounds interesting to you, go check her out. That's who is that?
Inspired Art Dolls.
Rachel. Okay, so go check her out, guys. And then last but not least,
William Martone.
So we have some normal names this week. So thanks, guys. We're giving
Taking it easy,
Callie a
Alex.
break. So yeah, okay. William. William is one of those guys that I found kind of like hiding in obscurity, like in the little corners of the interwebs. And I saw one of his pieces. So a lot of the times, what it is about you guys is I'll see one piece and because I never leave negative comments or negativity on anybody's channels, but if I don't feel passionate about a piece or I'm not into it or it doesn't impress me, I just won't leave a comment and I'll just pass it by. So when I saw his piece, it stood out to me and I really wanted to get him up. He doesn't have much content up on his YouTube, but what he does have is very strong, and he's got a ton of stuff up on his Instagram. And what really stood out to me about his work is his compositions, and that's one of those things that I've said before, but it's one of the first things I'll notice in a piece is composition. If you have an interesting way of putting your piece together that makes it stand out, that's something I'll always notice. And William has a really keen eye for composition. All of his pieces are really interesting to look at. They're not still or stagnant. They're really dynamic. And that's something that's really important as an artist, to keep your work, not just the quality of the shading and the line work and all that kind of stuff, but you want to, you can, a boring piece done, extraordinarily well, it's still going to be boring in my opinion if you have a stagnant piece. As well as it's colored or as well as it's detailed, if the composition is stagnant, there's really nothing you can do to change that. So the composition, where you start from, is really important to get, especially if you're doing like action pieces or that kind of stuff. You want it to have movement. I learned that way back in the day I remember there's a really iconic book called How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way, or How to Draw the Marvel Way. And I was obsessed with that book when I was a kid. It was all about perspective and composition and how to exaggerate proportions. And William does that kind of stuff really well. So let's go support him, and maybe this will be a good kick in the ass for him to get some more content up there. And hopefully it'll be a little bit of inspiration. William, if you want to get some more content up on your channel, I'll for sure have you up again. So everybody go check out William. And that's pretty much it for the week. I want to say, as always, thank you. I greatly appreciate all of you. And go check out Callie's Instagram. She's doing some really cool crafting work, working on lots of new planners. We're planning on taking those out to the shows. The next show we're going to be at is FearCon in October. We decided to forego Kansas City with everything going on, and my mom deciding to do gymnastics on a ladder and break her leg. Anyway, so
Life.
yeah, so otherwise it'd be starting in a few days. We'd probably be on the road out there right now. But anyway, so we'll be in FearCon in October, and we're gonna have some of Callie's merch out there.
Come check us out.
For sure. And if you want to support me directly, go check out my Patreon. Same goes for all the other artists. If you have a Patreon and you'd like me to give it some attention, let me know. Just a nice little note to me would do it. And yeah, keep an eye out for that website video. That's really important. I think that's going to be the next step for our community. I'm going to go in depth in the next few days, and I really want your guys' feedback on what you would want in a website, so we can make a big happy, safe place for all of us, that's not just confined to a Reddit forum. And I think that's about it. So thank you, everybody. Appreciate you, and thanks for everything. Ginger decided to stay for the whole video. Do you have anything to add, dear?
I don't think so.
All right, so until next week, thank you for everything, and we'll see you soon. All right, later.